And I thought that he was my missus.
Sure.
But he wasn't, and it probably felt my against his leg. We're all mates. We're still mates. Jim, I've got a question for you.
Wonderful.
It's just something that's been, knocking about since the weekend.
Okay.
Would the Premier League as a whole be better off, and this is just a question, it's not an opinion, just asking a question.
Yeah.
Would the Premier League be better off if Mikel Arteta just wasn't in it? If he just fucked off to another league?
It feels like a leading question. It's not, it's just pure, it's a pure 100% question. There's no bias or opinion sort of laced within that question. Why specifically Arteta?
He's just a bit of a knob, isn't he? I think he's generally hated by everybody.
Well, so we said this on.
Is he hated? Is he the most hated manager in the Premier League? He's taken over from Klopp.
Well, we spoke about this on the ripple effect this week, and I thought it was fascinating because I think there's definitely a ripple effect from Ange's comments about it all, right? Because what it set in play, which previously, I reckon over the last... Arteta's had a real up and down kind of lifespan as a manager, and especially say for like neutral fans or like broadly speaking, right? I think this is interesting in terms of like who is currently on a villain arc and who is currently like on a hero arc. Because I feel like Arteta, because of Ange's comments and because of Arteta's comments prior to that, he has now become a villain, which before Ange existed, and especially when Conte was at Tottenham, Arteta was like the good guy. And now it feels like he's maybe the bad guy. Yeah. Yeah, because he was like a proud manager. Yeah, no, I think it is. I think it's hugely down to Ange Postecoglou, the villain arc.
But because Postecoglou exists, or because of what he said?
Because for several reasons. So first of all, Arteta did the same thing last year. What I found really weird, when he was saying disgrace and all this stuff, like straight out of the manager textbook of like, what would Mourinho do here? Well, we've lost the first game of the season. What should we do? What should we do? Let's make it not about the performance. Let's make it about something else, right? And it was there for him. And I think he went, he was both like well overboard, really over dramatic, and somehow simultaneously incredibly calculated in what he did, right? But if you've got Conte being annoying or Tottenham being, for want of a better word, irrelevant in the league table, or Nuno Espirito Santo there just being, oh, you're right? You've got, look, mate, let's just respect the referees and be great fellas, eh? And everyone's like, oh, wow. Everyone's like, let's be mature and understand that you don't get everything in your life, and that the life and sport is a subjective thing, and different people have different opinions. So maybe we need some form of hierarchy here, and someone who could make decisions so we could just kind of keep things moving forward. And yeah, okay, maybe might not get what I want all the time, but I guess I'll just have to get on with it. Wow. Yeah,
it's not revolutionary, is it?
It's not revolutionary, but the world's getting soft. And maybe I'm getting old, and now I'm starting to do this thing where people are getting soft. But people are incapable of accepting a difference of opinion, and it's frightening, and it's killing sport. Full stop. But definitely this sport. And Ange Postecoglou is everything. Just let him decide everything. He's correct. He's always correct. He's better than you. He's better than me. He's certainly better than Arteta. He's so much more enjoyable. He is the silent majority. He is the silent majority of football fans who are desperate to watch the fucking game instead of watching 15, 20 minutes of shit screenshots. I can't, and I don't want to go screenshots too hard because I use them in my content, but that's different. That's when we're going, okay, let's analyse this. I don't want to analyse it in the game. I want to enjoy the game. Like the Arsenal-Newcastle game, the 3 big games of the last week, Arsenal-Newcastle, Tottenham-Chelsea, Man United-Copenhagen, have all been utterly ruined by a VAR. And Ange Postecoglou is the only bloke who seems to get it and say it consistently. So that's why Arteta's a villain.
This may shock you, but I agree with all that. I think, look, Postecoglou has had a past of attacking referees, or being critical of them, but it's different from what Arteta did and continues to back down. Now, look, I look, you knew the thing is with the Newcastle game. I don't want to go over it too much. I should just released a video on this very thing on my channel.
Great thumbnail. Can I showcase your content? Would you mind me doing that?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
Let me go find it.
But the problem is when you know where the agenda is coming from when Arteta, he's only interested when it happens to his football club. And there have been multiple opportunities for him to lambast a decision when it's gone for him and he's chosen not to. And he's actually talked about previously about respecting referees. He's done that. Then when it goes to the point of what happened last week, his inability to control his emotion, therefore act like a child, his inability to control his emotion has led him to behave in the way he has. But, all right, fair enough. He's a bit of a man-child. He can't handle disappointment. A lot of people out there like that. After the game, he's very emotional. He seems just lost. By the way, all 3 decisions, one of them wasn't even worth looking at. It wasn't an offside. The push was 50-50, could have been given, could have not, and the ball wasn't out, right? So it wasn't like it was a really it wasn't like Luis Diaz in Liverpool, where it's clear-cut, incorrect decision.
Yes.
But he's after the game and he's emotional. I get it. Then the club come out and go, no, we stand by what he said. What the fuck? How are you standing by what he's done?
That's the thing
he's
for me.
Embarrassed himself. He's embarrassed your football club. And more to the point, he's damaging the impact of the league and the ability of the officials to referee properly. You're making things worse. Yeah. One final thing, Jim.
Okay, cool.
One final thing. Right, so it's all the dust is settled. He might have said to the club, you need to back me because I'm angry about this. Fine, all right, we'll back you. 2 days later, he goes, no, I must stick up for what is right. I must stick up for my team and my players. So you've had a chance to reflect and you're still willing to go down this path. So it actually means you're a bit of a psychopath, that you still think you're right here. And that's worrying, and that's why we need to get him out of the league. It's bad for football.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, a couple of things. First of all, great thumbnail that we can all like. I think Arsenal and Tottenham fans alike can at least accept that is an engaging thumbnail that gets
click on it.
Straight to
Go
the
into
point.
click on it.
Yeah.
What do you like the title?
Worth
the title.
How Arteta is damaging the Premier League. Welcome to YouTube, Flav. Welcome to YouTube. The fighting cock there. Getting close to 10k subs, so make sure everyone goes and clicks on that, supports the lads. So the Arteta, like, I get what he's. This is why I don't understand. No one's gone. Well, this is he's clearly calculated what he's doing here. Like, I don't think it's that deep. The statement is pathetic. Can everyone stop doing statements because we didn't get what we wanted? But we didn't get you didn't get what you wanted because someone made a different decision because someone is allowed to do that. Yeah, but we didn't get what we wanted. Yeah, I know. No, you've said that already.
Condemned as well.
You've said that already.
Everybody.
I didn't get what I wanted. But no, but I still didn't get what I wanted. I still didn't know. Yeah, we've established that 3 times now. Can we get on with the rest of our lives? Yeah, but I didn't get what. Shut up. Everyone, shut up. I don't get what I want ever. And I've got to listen to you lot all the time. And don't get me started on Man United last night. What is going on with this game? What is going on?
I don't know. The scariest thing about this, Jim, is that every single game the conversation isn't about football at all anymore. The conversation is about VAR and refereeing decisions. And referees, I actually feel sorry for referees now, right? I'm getting to the point now where I think actually the referees aren't the problem. The system's the problem. Like Postecoglou said, is their authority is being stripped from them and they are in the firing line all of the time. How does a human being go onto the pitch in these massive games and behave to the best of his ability when there's this incredible amount of stress and focus placed on every decision he makes?
But also,
if he gets it wrong, then he's dragged through the coals like he was by Arteta.
But he's not. That's the weird thing now. He's not. It's not the referee anymore. It's VAR. They're God. So like you got the gods in the gods like panicking over everything, taking ages on everything, and actually the referees themselves have lost accountability because it's gone kind of above them, and it's still wrong because you're just slowing it down and going towards screenshot like the Rashford one. It's like if you think that is a red card, you are just going with the rules, and I don't know the rules enough, and I don't care. But we've played football, I've watched enough football that you know when someone is trying to do something, right? And if you watch that back, no one, like I watched it live, I wound it back and watched it live because I was watching something else, and no, like Robbie Savage, which we can get onto if we need to, the commentators, anyone in the stadium, every single player, apart from the one player who got caught, right? No one reacted for a good reason, because Rashford is just trying to protect the ball in that moment. And we've got to a point now where you can't even have accidents. It's a contact sport. Players get like caught. But if you watch the game enough and you don't just focus on a single screenshot, the right answer was there. And that's why no one reacted to it. No one. It's frightening.
The thing is you also if you're going to look at something like that and reduce it to a screenshot or a slow motion where it looks horrendous, every bad challenge looks horrendous, then you have to look at everything else as well, which will take longer. But look at his body shape. Look what he's done. He's clearly trying to shield the ball. That shape you see 100 times a game where you're trying to use your body to put between your body and the ball and the defender or the attacker, right?
Yeah.
That's all he did. So his shape was completely normal and natural. It just happened that his foot landed on the guy's ankle. So it's not a red card. But you look at it as a still and it looks like he's tried to stamp on him, which isn't the fact. And even though they have all this information, they're still doing it incorrectly. Yeah. Now, this won't go away. The handballs as well, which we can talk about, were
oh my God. The one that gave Bruno a goal. So just like this, obviously I've got no bias on this. The Copenhagen one, that is like the Maguire one. Again, you can argue that either way if you would like to. The Copenhagen one is an utter embarrassment. Like Maguire heads the ball down and it doesn't affect the game at all. And like, just use your brains. And the thing is, like, but there's so many tiny babies on Twitter moaning about this time and time again, and you'll never get a clear decision on it. So I tweeted this yesterday. I was been thinking about it. Like I was thinking, I'm like, I put it on me. I put it on my own shoulders. I looked at myself in the mirror and said, how can I make VAR better? Well, the way that I would make VAR better is I think you have to change this clear and obvious to beyond reasonable doubt. And someone said to me semantics on that. Like, it's not semantics because, say, like the Romero one is like, there's an argument there. It's not beyond reasonable doubt. Whereas,
it's a red card. It was a red card.
I think it's one where if you're in the VAR seat, you could have given that you could have said, well, look, the ref's not felt like it is. Like, I thought there's that clear intent from Romero, whatever. Yeah. Like, maybe I'm using the wrong example here, but it's not beyond reasonable doubt. And the ref didn't give it. So I would go, in my world of VAR, I would go, well, the ref has made a decision there. Let's accept hierarchy at times. Let's accept and respect that this is the person adjudicating the game. And unless it's beyond reasonable doubt. Now, Ollie Watkins in a game earlier in the week, or the weekend, he's 3 yards offside, right? Mm. So if that hadn't been spotted and it is beyond reasonable doubt, then bring it back and change it. Yeah. But if it's not,
brilliant.
Except
otherwise stay out of the game.
Otherwise stay out of it. It's so.
Yeah.
And do you know what's really pissing me off is all the commentators are saying. Sorry, mate, I'm really passionate about this. All the commentators keep going, "Best game, innit? Best game in the world, isn't it?" It's not. These games are ruined. These games have asterisks on them. There's no real winners. It's shit.
I think I was talking to my old man, and obviously he's not a big fan of VAR, as you can imagine. But he said he watched the game on Monday, Tottenham game, and he said, "I've never watched a game and been more disassociated with what's going on." He goes, "I just couldn't understand what I was watching." Because he felt like he was watching a game of American football, the amount it was stopping and starting. And the players have a role of, those two teams came out fully charged, overstimulated, I think, because the game was ill-tempered from the start, which actually in the past would have been made for great entertainment, great derby day, derby game.
Totally.
Instead of what we had was 12 minutes of stopped play while some dickhead looks at some video replay. Like, let the referee make the decision. Let the linesman make the decision and carry on, right? So my main issue here, Jim, right, is it seems to me that VAR is universally disliked / hated. If you gave the vast majority of football fans the opportunity to remove VAR, my assumption is that they would. Right. So why is it that every point that anybody makes, that it's followed by, well, it's not going anywhere. So what? Why isn't it going anywhere? Why isn't there a conversation being had that says, should we remove this because it's damaging the game? This isn't fun anymore. Should we remove it? Why is UEFA or the Premier League, whoever it is that implements the idea that VAR needs to be a part of football, why is the conversation not happening with them where they're saying, actually, is this good? Should we remove this? Yeah. It's almost like everyone's gone, well, no, it's here to stay, so we just have to get on with it. Why do we have to get on with it? No, why is there no chance of it being removed? Why? Because I think this conversation, James, on this podcast for 5 fucking years. We're still having the same conversation. Yeah. And it's almost like, James, we're at a position now. We're at the point now, right, mate, where we're like, do we have to talk about VAR again? We're even going, we can't have this conversation anymore, because what can we possibly fucking say that we haven't said already? And it's still no closer to being removed or better. In fact, it's worse. It's getting worse.
It's just like, it's arrogance. It's an arrogance to admit that to admit that you're wrong once you've implemented something. We thought it was wrong. We were sure it was wrong, and it's very incredibly clear to me that it is wrong. Like, the great things about football are getting ripped apart. One, celebrating goals, which you knew from the start. Yeah. Two, the flow of a game. The start rubbish.
That's even worse. That's the worst crime.
Yeah. And what's been forgotten is the fans in the stadium. They have no clue what's going on. No clue what's going on.
My mate Ricky was at the Spurs game, and he goes, we didn't know what was being checked, why things were being checked. There was an elbow on Udogie, which, it was Reece James, and it wasn't a sending off. It was fine, right? It was an accident. Yeah. But they were sat there for 5 minutes going, what is being checked? And it costs £100 to watch that Chelsea game, £107 to sit there and not know what the fuck is going on, because someone at some point gone, we need VAR in this game. And I'm so bored of saying it. I'm so bored of talking about it. But someone somewhere it needs to be gone. Or if they're not going to remove it, like you said, James, unless something is not subjective. If it's not subjective,
it can't be subjective. It cannot be subjective. That's it.
You go with the on-field referee. If it's a clear error, like you said, Ollie Watkins offside, clearly offside. Even if it's half a yard offside, fine. And then have the automated offside decisions. Have those in place like they were in the World Cup when no one even was talking about it. Decision was made really quickly, and on you go. It hasn't cleared anything up. In fact, it's made the conversation around poor decision making, which is supposed to ameliorate, even more significant.
Totally boring. So boring. But that's like the difference between clear and obvious and reasonable doubt is like you say, if it's subjective, you go with the ref, and you get on with your fucking life. Fuck me, because we have to do it like time and again in the people going, oh no, oh, look at the Championship, look at every other league ever. Like, we all get on with it.
Does anyone in the Championship want VAR? That anybody? Is it a conversation at QPR? Do people even talk about it? Is it what is the discussion in Championship clubs about VAR?
But VAR, well, no, we're too busy watching the football game.
Yeah, enjoying a game that lasts 90 minutes, not 102.
No, maybe not enjoying it, but we're watching it, and there's a bit more of a flow to it. Speaking of which, Marty arrives at Loftus Road. I've got 2 borings in the chat, so we're going to probably have to move on, I'm afraid. But yeah, it's a joke. It's embarrassing.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate it.
Honestly, I don't know what it was yesterday. Like the Rashford one just got like, I was just like, what on earth what are we doing? It's like fake news is like creeping into football. The game itself. How?
Yeah. But you know, and this goes back to the opening point about Arteta and Klopp's reaction to things that don't go their way, and a fan base's reaction to things that don't go their way. You create more issues, more problems like this, where the referees cannot, and the VAR are obsessed with getting absolutely everything as correct as possible. And even when they do that, you still complain. So we're in a situation now where VAR will take as much time as they want, absolutely fucking the flow of the game and the enjoyment of it, because they don't want the reaction from man-child managers who cannot contain disappointment.
That's a great way of putting it.
I'm sick to death of it, man.
Yeah, bored.
Just get on with it. Complain whatever it is, but remove an environment where fans and managers can complain about VAR. Just get rid of it, or just make it so that, like you said, Jim, like we said already, it's only if it's clear and obvious error.
It has to be.
Like that Rashford challenge is not clear and obvious. It's subjective. Therefore, let the referee on the pitch make that decision, because it's no different from you with your fucking camera and your fucking screen making a decision either way. It's not a robot. It's not AI that makes a decision. That would actually be the best thing. One day, develop an AI where there's no emotion and you cannot question it, and just let a fucking computer make the idea, because that's the only way we get around it.
Do you know what's hilarious as well is like there's this whole campaign to getting more refs. Like, if you see it, like, so before the games, it's like normally it's like a campaign against racism or whatever it may be. At the moment they're like, oh, there's a real like lack of refs at the moment. If you'd like to be a ref, get in touch with blah 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 blah. I'm like,
why would anyone want to do that?
Although, like, it's probably never been a better time to be a ref, because you have an out, and you don't have to get it right. You just have to accept once you're told that you're wrong. That's it. Isn't it amazing that the only person accepting when they're wrong now is the ref? It's mad.
Yeah.
What are we watching? Anyway,
referees writing letters of apologies to football clubs.
Right, enough.
Funny though, isn't it? When it happens to Wolves and they get their letter of, they sort of just get on with it. They just go, oh, it's part of the game. Yeah. You win some, you lose them. Like, it's like Liverpool. Liverpool fans, no doubt enjoyed what happened to Spurs on Monday, because there were parallels between what happened to us and what happened to them in terms of sending offs and, decisions going against you. So isn't that an example of how things level up throughout a season? Like, it happened to you, it happened to us. Let's just get on with it. You don't have to absolutely have a complete meltdown every single time and call for replays and shit like that. I mean, what the fuck?
And no one will say it and no one will hear it. But the truth is, you lot get far more. You lot get far.
Of course you do. All big clubs get favoured because they're playing more attacking football. The amount of money they put into their team enables them to play a brand of football, which means that they'll benefit from decisions in VAR. You're going to get more penalties because you're able to play more football in their box. Ergo, you're much more likely to benefit from VAR than a team like Wolves or other ones that aren't able to have that. What's it called? Attacking tilt in their favour.
Yeah. So that's true. I think, like, data-wise, of course, they're going to be attacking more. But also, I would say it's human nature that in a split-second moment, I think, they will be aware of the bigger teams and the bigger players more, and the pressure that's on that, and they'll just lean that way. Like, it happens.
Tom Jordan in the chat just said, we haven't had a penalty in 2 years.
Is that true? Tom also said, reset the season, I say. By the way, guys, a couple of things really important. First of all, we are setting ourselves little challenges within this podcast that are set in the mailbag on Patreon, just for that little extra nugget of fun for our moisties. So if you want to know exactly what that is, then you need to become a moistie. Links in the description. Just as important, and we'll be completely transparent here, We'd like to make some money out of the audio podcast, and we need to get our numbers up. So
Yeah,
we've always been a video podcast, but we're leaving some scraps on the table. You know, Christmas is coming. You know, people want stuff. So if
people
you are
also want to listen, they want to listen, don't they? Sometimes they can't sit down for an hour to watch this video.
That's a great point. Let me read this comment out, which is just like fallen on our lap beautifully. This is from TH Wills. He says, "I always watch these twice. First time I'm filled with such sheer joy that nothing actually goes in. I just sit there with a dazed, euphoric look on my face. Second time is where all the gold is realised." 7 likes on that. So what's probably a great way to do that is watch it once now in that euphoric state, and then make sure you click on the link in the description where you can follow us on Apple or wherever it may be, and that way you can listen to it again. And actually, if I ever listen to the pod, I won't watch it. I'll listen to it because I quite like picturing it. And actually, someone said, "Oh, I only listened to the podcast and wasn't actually aware of what an Ainsley Harriott celebration looked like, and only saw it on Saturday Social, which we explained what really happened in the mailbag as well." Do you want to have a quick look at our work?
Yeah.
And the work of others. So for those of you who don't know, Joe, I might actually just show you guys quickly because I tweeted it this morning because we were, we need to maybe get this to Ainsley. Hopefully he would take it in the right spirit. But we, so for those who don't know, I was at an event and there was like a camera that was going around everywhere and it went to, did I not actually post? Maybe I didn't post. I didn't post it. Thought I had. I didn't. Ainsley Harriott basically did this celebration, which we're about to show you. Did I not post it? I didn't post it. Anyway, and since then, you guys have been getting yours in, and we've got some belters. Do you want to see others, or do you want to see ours? Do you know what?
I want to see all of them, but you need to share your stream. Okay.
So, first things first, I might get done for copyright on it. On our one, probably
was it Sky Sports?
Yeah, it's my only fear.
Just so obviously we were in a situation where me and James were both on a TV program that was being broadcast live, and the opportunity we were asking other people to do Ainsley Harriott celebrations, and the opportunity for us on live TV to do it was it was too much. Like I really didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to do it, Jim. And when we did it, the look of confusion on Joe's and Adam's face was a little bit like, "Oh man, this is how did this land?" And I was worried about what the producer, because I did it a little bit too sexually, I think.
Right. Okay. Well, let's we won't play the audio, but we'll. I sort of kicked us off with a subtle one. Try to just get it out of the way early doors. Yeah. I spoke about the great podcast that we've got here. So this is like one of the big shows on Sky Sports in the morning if you are watching this elsewhere. But so you can see me in the corner there. And I was talking about our new manager, and I crowbarred it in by suggesting that he's cooking a sauce or something. It was simple. Was it effective? There you go. Little one. Beautiful sauce. Right. Then we had this where we were doing a quiz and Flav got really unlucky because there he is. He's just sat down. He was out of shot when he really went for it, and the hips were really flying. And if we carry on, it should be all right here. Look, there he is. Lovely little wiggle there. Great work. Got the sauce right as well. I was so you did well there. That's definitely one though. I could tell where. Thing is, right. People won't know this. I reckon I know more than anyone in the world when you don't want to do something. Because it doesn't mean you won't do it. Yeah. But I've seen you.
I will do it.
Yeah, you will do it. But you've had to do that so many times in my like relationship with you, where like there'll be times where I go, I need you to say this or whatever it is, or I need you to do this video or whatever it might be. And you'll always, there's like a gentle sort of roll of the eyes or whatever, but you're a good friend, so you just do it anyway. And I could tell that you didn't really want to do it. But then once you did, it was one of those where like, if I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it properly. And you did. Yeah. You did. And actually, in hindsight, let's be honest, I thought you did it. The wiggle was gorgeous, says Tom Jordan. I agree. I thought yours was really, really good. Mine, I think I actually, deep down, in comparison to yours, bottled it pretty heavily.
I was quite excited about getting my question right as well. So there was.
Do you know what? So there's my one there. The one thing I am relieved about, and we're going to get onto other people's, is there seems to be a real problem with people licking the fingers before going into the sauce. That seems to be a real problem. Anyway, I won it right near the end somehow. And there we go. I went back to the shelves to pop in new things. And there it is. So yeah, we did it. We did it 4 times. So I think we played our part. Right?
Yeah. Now it's your part still. There's still more stuff for you to do.
I think it's now like, remember the Wenger out thing? I feel like this is kind of that to a sense where it's like, as much as we've seen it, it's where can we see it? Where can we see the Ainsley Harriott? What scenarios that don't fit normal logic or life? How brave can you be with the Ainsley Harriott celebration? Anyway, here's a few. So here we go. Jack Allen. Well done, mate. Let's open this bad boy up, shall we? Jack Allen. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Little slow grind on that. Taking his time. Oh. The hip thrust there is one of the best. Look, bit too much of the tongue at the end. Too much. I know for a fact by watching that Jack is a dirty dog. He's into some, I don't know. He just seems out. He oozes sexuality, doesn't he? It's like not even sex appeal. It's just a lot going on here. Look, a bit much with that. Biting the lip. The hips are flying, and then the tongue flies out like that. He's absolutely loving it.
I don't know why.
You dirty little boy. Dirty little boy.
Disgusting little pig, Jack. I don't. Why has it all become so sexual? Come back. Come back.
He wants more. Oh.
Wait, stop putting your finger in it. It's too much, Jack. It's too much.
I don't mind it. All right.
Look, I'm happy. I'm just happy.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. A more. Okay. I think it does say a lot about what you're like sexually, and I think Jack is on one. More of a. Who's this? Hang on. More of a humble Jack. Jack's
another Jack.
Yeah. He's steaming John.
Beautiful.
Good. But this week's winner. Oh no, Aaron Mills. What we got here? Here's Aaron. Aaron. Okay, right. Let's see Aaron's on. It's quiet. There we go. We've got nothing there. Cold. Cold. What? The sauce is cold. He actually looks like he's masturbating there. The angle is not kind to him there.
That isn't a celebration. He's just masturbating.
Amazing. But yeah, this week's winner.
Good work.
JetBlue.
Aaron Mills.
JetBlue, my guy. Come on, here we go. Right. Spin! Yes, son. One critique.
That's amazing.
One critique. He's licked the sauce before he's dipped the sauce.
Hang on a second.
He lost his way. Look. Here we go. He's dipped. He lost his way.
What is the... It's got to go in first and then lick, right?
Huh? You don't lick your finger before you go in the sauce.
Of course you don't.
No, exactly. And he did.
Boys and girls, that was absolutely superb.
More.
I never want this to end.
But where can you do it?
Get your mums to do it. Get your mums to do it.
Get your mum to do it, yeah.
I want to see mums doing it.
I want mums. I want grands.
Grands would be fantastic.
I don't know what else.
Everything and everywhere.
Yeah, man. Sick. Very good. Okay. Man United. At WrestlePlanet says, the question isn't should Ten Hag go. The question is, when will Ten Hag go?
Well, now he should have been gone weeks ago, but you don't recover from this. No one recovers from this scenario. Managers don't survive. There's too much gone. He's lost. I'm not saying he's lost the dressing room. It doesn't matter. It's regardless. You cannot keep losing games. They're bottom of the Champions League group. Where are they in the league? Well, I can't even tell you where they're in the league.
They are currently eighth in the league. Do you know what? The same points as Brighton, 2 points off Newcastle. Amazing, isn't it?
Brighton
How are they getting away with that?
significant.
But 2 points off Newcastle. How are they getting away with that? It's amazing.
Because they're Manchester United.
But
It's a different thing.
the problem is, as spoken about on the ripple effect, is that death month is coming for them. They've got a horrible, horrible month. Let me go to the matches here. Now, I can't stress, because the thing is, right, he might get done by the stats. Well, I was listening to Scholes and Hargreaves afterwards, and they were actually quite kind of sensible over the, I think you've got to let him ride it out, this one. But what I find is interesting is, right, if Ten Hag, you've got David Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, Solskjaer, Ten Hag, right? If you pick up Ten Hag and put him earlier in the queue, he's gone. The whole narrative is totally different, right? Because they lost 9 and 17, right? But because he's at the end of this long list, there's it can't be the manager this time, and I think that will save him. I also am struggling for options, but his fixtures, this game this weekend, Luton at home. If you lose to Copenhagen, even if that was unfortunate, obviously with the sending off and things like that.
Yeah.
But if you lose that and then don't beat Luton at home, I don't know how you wriggle out of that.
I think, man, the thing is Luton at home, beating them gives him nothing. It doesn't give him, it doesn't give him time, does it? It doesn't mean anything beating Fulham, Luton at home. And if they struggle, that's the issue. And this is the thing, is they've struggled. They look like they're struggling in every game.
The Fulham game wasn't great. You're right. And they've got to win. I was looking at it, I was thinking, you desperately need to win the next 4, which was the Copenhagen one, Fulham, which they did, Luton and Everton. That is inexcusable. You cannot not win any of those games. But after that, it's Galatasaray, which is a must win away from home, because they are bottom.
They have to win. They're out. I don't think they'll qualify, but
Newcastle away, which is a bit of a bogey team, and I don't think there's a harder away game in the Premier League, really, apart from Man City, obviously. Chelsea at home, El Sakiko. Bournemouth, which, right? Am I right, Tom? Tough one.
The problem is that I understand the fixtures and whatnot. The issue isn't this current run of form. The issue is the decision making in acquisitions of players. The inability to manage the Sancho situation in a way that fundamentally benefits the football club, and then on top, a kind of very insipid style of play. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
So all of those things together is just but Ben asked a good question. Sorry, I don't know who it was actually. Someone asked, who do you replace him with? I don't know, and and it would be somewhat refreshing if you just allowed him to just play this out, regardless of what happens to Manchester United this season. If you just let's just see what happens with Ten Hag, and just let's it just play out, then that would be refreshing, because that's not what happens in football.
If he plays it, say you let him play it out. Okay, what is a happy ending by the end of this season then? What needs? What's the deadline? Where's the deadline?
It's not about a happy ending. You just accept that this season's pretty much a write-off, and you just rebuild for next year, and you believe in Ten Hag if he is the guy.
But you got to see it, haven't you? At some point, this is my point. If you're, say, they're 8th at the moment. See, to be honest, because they're 8th in the league and they've been awful. So, they could get really lucky and get away with it. They could easily finish. Let's find the league.
They were finished third last year, wasn't it? 4th.
Yeah, but they are currently 4 points off 5th.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
They can still finish 4th, can they?
No, they cannot finish 4th. They will not finish in the top 4. It's impossible for them.
That's not true. Tottenham, because Tottenham have got no players anymore, so that they could easily fall away. You could easily fall away. They could easily finish 4th. And I think if you're Man United, you've got high expectations and you think that he's going somewhere, he should be finishing. If you give him the season, he should be getting very close to 4th, and if not, then I think you go, all right, off you go.
But they've spent an absolute fortune. It's been an awful start to the season. If you're gonna back Ten Hag, it's purely on blind faith that he's gonna get this right, and that's it. Like, if you don't set him a target of 4th, because he's not going to get there.
But like at some point, you have to judge what he's doing.
Chelsea will finish above Manchester United.
He's gone there.
And I don't think it's not a mental thing to say. It's not mental to say.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, at some point, you have to judge the manager. And are you judging the manager now? But if you're going to give him the whole season, you can't give him the whole season without any consequences. You have to go, you've got the whole season, but I need to see something here. And when you look at the table, he could easily finish 4th. Or be close to
fired. He should have been fired. He should still not, in my opinion, he shouldn't be their manager. They should find someone else. But if your target is for him, say you have to finish 4th, from this perspective, it's almost impossible for them. I cannot see a world where they do it because there are so many better teams than Manchester United at the moment. It doesn't. There's not, and you can only go by what's gone before. But where do you see it suddenly clicking for them? I'm not saying you, but where does anybody who thinks Ten Hag's right? Where do you see it clicking? How is this going to click? Because that game against Fulham, and Fulham aren't great. That game against Fulham was terrible.
Yeah. I thought they got so lucky.
That was one of their wins.
Yeah, I agree. So, but that's my point. If it was me, that would be my thing. I would go. So, like, here we go. Here's the other options right now. Apparently, Conte. That is just a disaster waiting to happen.
I'd love that.
Yeah,
he might get them into the top 4. By the way.
Yeah, maybe Hansi Flick, Michael Carrick. I mean, really?
How are Middlesbrough doing this season?
He's turned it around. Like, to be fair, like he had a tough start to the season, and he's turned it around like quite considerably. Nagelsmann. I mean, that's falling upwards, that isn't it? Like, if he's able to get that one. I think Nagelsmann is a possible shout. Diogo Simeone, if you could get him, I would be interested to see that.
Apparently, he's never going to leave Atletico Madrid.
My point. So what I would do is I would say you've got this season. I'm giving you this season, but I need.
That's who they should get in. Oh, yeah. A young, fresh manager, full of ideas. Or De Zerbi, yeah.
Potter's second favourite.
There are options. I don't think Zidane's the one. I think Zidane did amazing stuff for Real Madrid, but it's a different. You're asking him to do a different job in kind of fixing Manchester United. There's no evidence that Zidane can effectively do that. Certainly in a new country. De Zerbi, Potter, or you're looking at. I'm not sure Emery would go, but Emery would be brilliant.
That's hilarious. I mean, but isn't that amazing? Like that, managers that have been written off previously will kind of. You know, Lopetegui obviously struggled at Real Madrid. Everyone's failed there apart from De Zerbi and Zidane, sorry, and Amorim. But like, I'm not saying that's the right way to go. I
think Emery's not even on that list, is he?
Who? Amorim? He's third.
Emery.
Emery. Oh no, I can't see him. Oh yeah, there he is. Down here. Eddie Howe's an incredible shout. You'll never get him. That's the problem.
You'll never get him, and this is the thing is there was once a time where anyone.
There was a time.
If Man United knocked on your door, you would join him. There's nothing you could do to stop your manager or player joining Manchester United. How have they fallen off so significantly?
It's
well, we know how.
It's
those bloody pesky Glazers, isn't it? Those bloody pesky Glazers.
Yeah. Tom tweeted that yesterday, guys. Why didn't the Glazers just shut up shop for the last 10 minutes of that game? That's so good. I love it. I see it, Tom. I love it. So
That's
funny.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, my thing would be, look, we get this is a difficult time. You've got to the end of the season. If you were a Man
United fan, what would you say? What would you want, James? If you was a Man United fan, what would you want from this situation?
I would give him. So what would I want? I would want him to be pushing towards the top 4 by the end of the season. I look at that table, and with Tottenham, with the players they've got out, I think you give him to and you do kind of what you did with David Moyes and some of the other managers, where you go, we're going to give you to the end of the season, but I need to see it, and I need to a bit like Arteta. You know, Arteta, the year that they first year they bought it. You could see it though. You could see what was like on its way, and that's the thing. I think you need to be able to see it. And
exactly.
If by then you get it, then
Well, you can see at Tottenham, like we've got nothing. We've got no defense basically for the next 3 games. it doesn't matter if we lose these 3 on the bounce. It really doesn't, because you can see what's happening.
Is a philosophy enough for Ange? Is it enough though? Can you just do that with anyone? Could you put me and you centre back and we just get through it because of the philosophy of Ange?
Well, I think we're going to promote Phillips to the first team, so he'll start with Dyer. Is that a centre back pairing that's good enough for us to finish in the Champions League? Probably not. It doesn't matter if you can't legislate for losing 2 players like that. And overall, we need to see is that philosophy and the style of play, and this is the intent of which we're going to play, and nothing else matters. Because again, I think people forget, because we're top of the league, won 8 games, drawn 2, undefeated in 10. Right? People forget where we are on our journey, which is right at the beginning. We're just a little baby. We're just a little baby, James.
Just a tiny baby, aren't you?
Just a tiny, tiny little baby, and everyone's going, "Oh, well, the baby's bumped his head on the cabinet," and everyone's going, "Wow, shit baby." He's still not. We're not a shit baby. We're just a baby, and we're going to bump into things, and eventually, we'll be able to negotiate our way through the living room without bumping into anything.
Okay, exciting. Stephen tries. So
yeah, he wants. I'm fucking sick of his. I'm sick to my back teeth. Stephen
tries talk returns for a second week, which is very exciting.
He wants war.
Yeah, he's after you. Let's put it that way. Stephen tries. We asked him to sort of, did he want to put forward a review or anything? He said, and we wondered if he was, starting a beef with you after you phased out 2 weeks on the trot. And I think you did in the mailbag in midweek as well. He said, Stephen said, I'm certainly not trying to start beef with Flav. I want the best for him. We all do. But the boy lacks focus. Power move. But the boy lacks focus, and we've got to stay on top of it. I've seen him at the local skate park with his beanie and vape. He has rollerblades around his neck, but he never puts them on. He just stands there and occasionally spuds a teenage boy after he does a wheelie. I know it might not seem like an exciting path, but James will guide you to a great place. Those other boys are just using you to buy alcohol for them. Kiss.
It's so true, though, isn't it, Jim? Because look, without you, I'd be nothing. Do you remember when we was in Russia and we was on that bus? This was in the film that we made, and I made a mistake, didn't I? I called something like I mispronounced Kaliningrad or something like that.
Yeah.
And you said it's Kaliningrad, and I was like, well, at that moment we were panicking because we didn't know where we'd lost our van, and we were in some random little minibus that could have been owned by a fucking mad sex pest.
Sure.
And you corrected me in that moment, and I was like, why are you correcting me? And you just said to me very clearly, I just want you to be the best version of yourself.
and here we are.
When I zone out, it's not personal. It's just my brain.
I know that, but we've got to stay on top of it, as Stephen said. There was a couple of comments on that. Top comments, Stephen, well done. Using your influence for good.
Why is that?
Yeah. Walker on tour said, careful, Stephen. Flav is bigger and stronger than you, so ultimately owns you, which is something we were talking about last week. Meow9275 said, get him up to St. Helens and make a real man out of him. Few weeks down the glassworks, surviving on meat pies and pints of bitter. And this fucker will be out of his beanies and vape and into a flat cap and a pack of woodbines in no time. Hope to see you at Fleet, my dude. Love you. That last sentence, though. So he's kind of gone for you there. And then at the end, he goes, hope to see you at Fleet soon, my dude. Love your work. Oh, that's at Stephen, maybe. So Stephen, opportunity for a nosh there, if you fancy it. Imagine that. Imagine us all. Stephen, me, you. Just 3 guys, 3 innocent men. Noshing each other off at the service station. I've said this many times, but I stop at Fleet Services maybe 4 or 5 times a month because often down in London for work. Which day?
I do. Sporadic. It could be any day, really.
Morning,
next time I'll probably be there I don't even know if I should say this. The next time I'm likely to be at Fleet Services will be around 10 a.m. on Wednesday, the 15th of November.
I can't believe you just said that.
I may be there or may not be. But if
someone's there, do you respect them or do you fear them or both?
Because if I'm in Fleet Services and I look up and someone who I obviously do not know who happens to listen to the podcast offers me a blowjob, I don't know what to say. I'm not going to know what to say.
As in you may take them up on it. I don't know what I'm going to say in that moment. You just don't know. Thomas Martin says, "On my way." Sam Fredgall says, "See you there, big boy."
I think if it happens, if I'm at Fleet and someone offers me a nosh, I have to do it. I have to do it because what you can't back out after all this talk after 2 or 3 years. You've got to put my money where my mouth is.
Well, yeah, or where their mouth is.
Well, yeah. And so, yes, in the circumstances where if I'm at Fleet Services, even if I'm with my wife, if I'm offered a blowjob, yes, I will receive one.
Okay, lovely. Gim says it's in the calendar. It's in the calendar. Oh, of course. It's in the calendar. Pitching a line of lanky slugs just staring at Flav as he drives into Fleet Services. This podcast is odd, isn't it? Right. Right. We've got some really good bits here, so let's get to Samism. Connor Watt, Samism here. My friend Shane was talking about how he thinks cheese is overrated.
Not overrated.
Yeah, I thought you might bite on that.
It's ridiculous.
Flav was discussing how he made a lovely cheese sauce in the week, right? On the mailbag. Links in the description.
Start with garlic and oil.
There you go. And he said, so we were talking about how cheese is overrated and said, people act like it's the second coming of bread. I'm assuming he got mixed up with second coming of Christ and the best thing since sliced bread. Now, there are 10 replies, but Limmy, this was really good. He said, that's funny.
Since bread.
He said, yeah, it's the second coming of bread. That's funny, but I think I prefer the best thing since sliced Christ. Very good. Did make me laugh. So I chucked it in the Jimbo Big Laugh Award.
Yeah.
Oliver Pythian. We need to make a football dictionary, words that are only used by football content creators and podcasters. Tutelage is absolutely the first one in there. You love a tutelage, I think.
I love a tutelage. Tenureship.
Tenureship. Yeah, that's nice.
And tutelage. And do you know what else I get fundamentally? Apparently, I say that a lot.
Fundamentally, yeah, you do.
I do. But the thing is what you have to rely on staple parts of your vocabulary in order to communicate coherently, right? Of course. You can't be thinking of new words to use just in order to seem intelligent. And a case in point here is Simon Jordan is one of the best broadcasters around, right, at the moment. And he uses prices into your thinking 7 or 8 times an episode. It doesn't mean he's less able to communicate. It's just what the way his brain goes to.
I think as well, like the hours that people have like listened to. Like, poor Catherine, like the days of my voice she's heard.
Yeah,
I just feel so guilty.
I'm sick of myself. I've been on so much this week that I cannot stand my own face.
Amazing.
Even so, Jim, I'm looking at the Discord as we're recording this, and I've blown you up. You're massive, and I'm tiny in the little bottom. Tiny,
really? Tiny in my little bottom.
I'm down the bottom with all the bucket filth.
Lovely. We need to make a football dictionary. Yeah, so tutelage was one, followed closely by focal point, which, of course, you guys know is one of my bugbears is Mika Richards saying vocal point. Yeah. It's not a vocal point. It's a focal point. Anyway. So, yeah, what other words? I mean, what words do I use?
John says, Flav, you need to sprinkle in some quintessentially every now and then.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. It's nice.
That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. Top comments. Gary O'Neill. So, diabetes. Tom, this could be one of your flock. I think it's a Bournemouth fan. Diabetes has bitten hard on last week where we said that Gary O'Neill deserved an apology. He said, I'm never apologising to Gary O'Neill.
Love it.
Because there's nothing to apologise for. He says lol, but I'm not gonna have that.
No.
He's doing well for now, sure. Let's see how he's doing by the end of the season. Great play. When we're in November, it's a great play.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, you can go, well, that's all well and good. But let's see where we're at. And that can age beautifully sometimes. It could age beautifully. Because Tottenham could easily finish below 10th, couldn't they? And like, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But if you are, an Arsenal fan he's feeling rattled deep in his core but doesn't want to let that show, you go, well, let's just wait until the end of the season, shall we?
Yeah, because it doesn't mean anything. Just you can say it, and obviously you don't have to prove it. It doesn't stand up, and no one at the end of the season is going to go back and find your comment. They're not going to do it.
Well, diabetes.
But what I'm saying is, I don't know why this. Why is he so like rattled by Gary O'Neill's? Like, why can't? Isn't he allowed to get plaudits every now and then?
Well, yeah.
You let him go. You sacked him. Same thing with Pochettino and Tottenham. We let him go.
Well, he says he's doing well for now. Let's see how he's doing by the end of the season. Bournemouth fans have done this dance. It's great power moves throughout. But Bournemouth have done this dance. If he's still doing well at the end of the season, then fair play to the guy. The objective truth is that O'Neill kept us up, but that we were statistically the worst team in the league. A change had to be made. Didn't have to, but it did for diabetes. Any Fulham fans out there will understand how we're feeling, because they sat through Scott Parker's football and had to stomach the media telling them how good he is. This is our version of that.
He has fallen off completely, hasn't he?
Scotty P's had a tough time. You can't have... How many back-to-back bad jobs can you have before you don't get another job anymore? David Moyes, he was very close, wasn't he? Because he had Man United, Real Sociedad, Sunderland, back-to-back-to-back, and then got that last West Ham one, saved it.
And West Ham's a huge job for him. Like, and the fact that he got that right is it's a testament to him, really. I can't see Scott Parker getting another job in the UK. I think it's done, really.
I don't hate him as a coach. I think the thing
he rates himself so highly is the problem.
I think he's got high. I've interviewed the man, and I just thought he had high standards. I didn't mind him at all.
Yeah.
I think what'll be interesting to see is he won't get, like, the Bournemouth job and the Fulham job were easy jobs to get out, to get promoted. Like, ultimately, you're not going to get a better job than that in the Championship. So will he get that one? Maybe. Let's find out. Top comments as well. Second one, Asej. Absolutely gutted that you both dismissed the idea of crow's feet as a bit a few weeks ago. So a few weeks ago, we were talking about things that make you sort of go, give you crow's feet. It wasn't us. The running order is built from the comments. No one really picked up on it, mate. So don't do that. But he then said, Jackson doing the "See" celebration and the Chelsea fans actually doing it with him is a textbook example of a crow's feet moment. I kind of just wanted to talk about that. That is one of the most embarrassing things I've seen. The Jackson "See." Did you see that?
Well, just copying Ronaldo.
Right. Because you didn't have the sound, did you, on the club? But no. Yeah, the fact he's done the "See" celebration, and the Chelsea fans were like, "See!"
Oh God, really?
It was poor, man. So
when it says crow's feet, what does that mean? Like,
crow's feet are these things here.
Yeah, I know what they are. So is it just kind of that?
It's things that make you go, yeah, essentially. Yeah. So
that's rubbish. But I think anyone would have done it, and any fan base would happen. Do you think?
I would not.
Definitely happen at Arsenal.
That's
I wouldn't do it, isn't it?
The 2023 equivalent of back in the day, or generally, like, do you boo your team or not? The same people that boo their own team see that. Yeah, just shocking. Honestly shocking. One of the worst things I've seen. Worse than VR. Football assumptions. So make sure you get your football assumptions in. And these are just things that you presume about players. Last week we were talking about Jordan Pickford, who is back again. And actually, I watched the Sly Stallone documentary on Netflix last night. And if you... I can do it quickly. If you Google Pickford... young Sylvester Stallone... He looks a lot like Jordan Pickford.
Is he?
I think so. That's not young, is it? Where is he? Are you seeing it? I'm not sure I'm seeing it now.
No.
No. Yeah. Good podcasting. Good podcast. Good. Okay. Well, let's move on. Anyway, football assumptions. Where are we? Here we go.
A little bit. I've just Googled it.
Okay.
It does a little bit, yeah.
So quick fire with this. Jason Mystery says, unlike Harry Kane, Guardiola has not had cereal and milk for breakfast since the age of 15. Dom Rich, Football Assumptions. When Jordan Pickford plays away from home and stays in a hotel, he will stand at the foot of the bed and pretend he's saving a free kick and dive onto the bed with outstretched arms. He will do this over and over again into the early hours. Sleets says, Michael Owen loves ham sandwiches, but pats ham with kitchen roll before putting it between 2 slices of bread. No butter. He doesn't like the slimy nature. I actually totally agree with that. I can see him being like that.
You know,
I can see Michael Owen being both bland and particular. What you can say?
In America, they use mayonnaise as opposed to like butter or margarine or spread. They use mayonnaise.
Yeah. People use mayonnaise on sandwiches all the time.
Yeah, you have mayonnaise in your sandwich, but not to replace butter. They don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that regularly.
Yeah, but
you choose one or the other, don't you? You'll have mayonnaise or butter.
No.
What?
No. Well, hang on a minute. When you're making a fucking sandwich, you're going, well, I've got mayonnaise, so I don't need butter. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah.
That's madness. It's like 2 completely different things. Well, you're just saying
you don't need it, though. Why do you need butter if you've got mayonnaise?
The butter,
what do you need the butter for?
It develops a bread.
Develops the bread. What the fuck does that mean?
It
Develops
makes
the
bread better.
Right.
It's better with butter on it.
Yeah.
Develops it. Develops a flavour and develops it. So you have a chicken.
This under 16 teams looks pretty good. Are they having their butter? Want to make sure they're getting developed.
So you're saying to me, James, is that like when you have like a chicken mayo sandwich or whatever it might be,
right?
You're like, no, I'm not putting butter on this. You're the only person on earth that does that, apart from you and Americans. You and loads of Americans. Am I wrong here?
If I'm having a sandwich, 9 times out of 10, I don't think I'm having butter. I'm just having mayonnaise is the butter, if you know what I mean. That's the lubricant in the bread.
But you're on your own.
Am I?
I think you are. Let us know in the chat.
I think if you're putting butter and mayo on, you sort of guaranteed to be pretty gammon as a person. Should we move on?
No, fuck off. No way. No way.
Mayo
isn't butter.
There we go.
It's not butter. It isn't butter. It's like there's people like
see Matt Knight's with me. Sam's with me. There's quite a few with me.
Yeah, this is mental.
Why do you need both? I don't understand why you need both.
You're lost. Tom says you're lost. Thank you. Finally, I'll get a win.
I smell a Twitter
Rare dub for me. Rare dub for me. Oh, mate, do it. Rare dub. Yeah.
Anthony's with me now. Is it like...
It's like my wife who says like about ketchup and baked beans. If there's baked beans on the place, you don't need ketchup. Of course you need ketchup.
But you've already got the tomato sauce and the baked beans.
It's not tomato sauce, though, is it?
It's
different tomato sauce.
Ollie Drew. Solly March loves Parma violets and has a multi-pack of them in his boot bag for a half-time snack. And Eep de Grief, he says that he assumes that Miguel Almiron only has sex with his socks on. Right. This is great. And this got legs, and I'm amazed how many we had. And I don't even remember this in the pod.
Yeah.
Demasculization. Okay? So these are moments where you get demasculized.
Isn't it emasculated?
Is it emasculated?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it emasculated? God, I'm learning so much.
Of his male role or identity.
Thank
Emasculated.
You. Okay, emasculated. Learn a word today. Great. Okay, so great stories here. Yeah, when you've just sort of gone through those kind of hardships. So here we go. Emasculization in the station. I stepped into a fairly busy... This is Jack Kirby. I stepped into a fairly busy uni gym, and although my bang average physique does not scream it, I feel I'm fairly proficient at exercising, which was obviously not clear to the middle-aged woman behind the desk, who decided to go out of her way to come over to my section to the gym, where I am the only person training chest. Turn on one singular TV right in front of where I'm training, and scroll through to put on the chest workout tutorial video. That is brutal. Not lending the same service to anyone else in the gym before returning back to her desk was an incredibly humbling ordeal, which over a year later I am still dealing with the fallout of. A year later, questioning my entire existence. That's unfair, isn't it? That's tough.
Yeah.
Walking in a Mackie Wonderland. Yeah. All right. QPR Oxford United fan, I presume. Moments of emasculation context. I live with 3 of my mates in a house share, and we're all 26, 27 years old. We came home on Saturday night to a power cut. I managed to get it fixed by turning the fuse off and on. But the next morning, the gas wasn't working, and we couldn't figure out why. It was a Sunday, so we couldn't call anyone out, and we had to wait until Tuesday for a guy to come round to fix the gas. In the meantime, we are freezing with no heating or gas to cook, and even have to brave an ice-cold shower. The guy comes around on Tuesday and goes down to the basement where the pipes are, and the fuse box is as well. He steps down, he looks up and gives us a look that is equal parts confused and judging. There's a lever on the pipe which has been pushed down. We must have accidentally pushed it down when we were trying to fix the power cut on Saturday. He simply flicks the lever up, then walks back up. We're all embarrassed about our lack of understanding of handyman workings, and I assume we're getting ready to blame each other when the guy simply says, "Don't worry, boys, I've seen worse." Then turns to leave. I was only in the house for about 3 minutes, and it cost us £100 for the call out and a huge level of emasculation for not understanding how a lever works. Awful. Don't worry, boys. I've seen worse. He hasn't.
Lessons learned.
He hasn't seen worse.
He thinks you're all twats.
He thinks you're all twats. And last one, Matro. Moments of emasculation. I had a crack on my windscreen, and the man from Autoglass, who's a bearded London accent and around 45 years old, came to fix it and asked me to reverse park it onto the drive. As a newly passed driver, despite my best efforts under his watchful eye, I just couldn't do it, and I almost hit the wall. After 4 or 5 attempts, he said, bless you, mate. Come here, I'll do it for you. I got out and watched him do it effortlessly first time. I've never felt so small. Tough. Sorry, this is Phil Boggled. This is great. This is so good. Okay, this is the worst one. This is the worst one by a mile. I can feel it in my bones. Right. Moments of emasculation. My ex-girlfriend began calling me Lamb.
Lamb?
About 3 months into our relationship, I joked about how there was no way she was getting away with that. And we laughed, and I considered the storm had passed. Within days, she started calling me Lamb again, but now also Lammy and Little Lamb.
This is affectionate, right? Is this affection? But he doesn't like it.
I mean, God knows. I mean, if I was called Little Lamb, I just would hate that so much. A few more days of this, and I decided to have a serious conversation with her about it and expressly asked her to stop calling me Lamb. She agreed.
Lammy.
Literally the next day, she started calling me Lamb again. Hastily adding, whoops. Not supposed to call him that. Oh, no. I don't think I'd read that far. Whoops. Yeah, and also to the room, innit? To the room as well. Whoops. Not supposed to call him that.
James, he's there going, looking around going, what? That's bad.
That's horrible. Whoops. Not supposed to call him that. That's horrible. That's so passive aggressive. Each time she did it, I was so dumbfounded that I just didn't know what to do. So then she sporadically called me Lamb for the next 5 years before we broke up this year. Well, at least it's a happy ending. I would end it. Like, if she's not going to, if you seriously go, seriously, love, I don't like it. Stop it. And she keeps doing it. Then
it's an affectionate, like My Little Lamb, isn't it? It's an affectionate thing, but it's not what you want to be seen as a man.
It's so patronising.
It's not what you assume. I once called my missus Pudding. All right, Pudding? No. So in my head, it was it's sweet, like a dessert. It's lovely. Everyone likes a bit of pudding. But calling a woman Pudding isn't how they take it. They don't look at the sweet. They look at it as what are you saying? I look like pudding. And then I'm like, oh yeah, all right, fair enough. And I've never said it again. And it sometimes like how words come to this point and you don't say them. They're just there. They're right there, and you want to say them. You want to say it, but you stop.
That's great. Never.
Do you know, another one of pudding is you can't call a woman pudding, but I stand by it, but I won't use it. But apparently, so I've got in trouble by calling people sunshine. Now, in my upbringing, sunshine is a term of affection, and it's definitely not condescending. But people who don't understand it take it as I'm patronising or I'm trying to play them down.
Yeah.
All right, sunshine. I did it actually to Steve-O. So, do you know Steve-O, the madman?
Yeah. Hello, sunshine.
So I did a head-to-head, and I went, all right, sunshine? And he went, you sunshining me. I was like, oh, God, no.
Wow, that's good. Matt Knight said he's been called Petal before. I think somehow lamb's worse for me. I mean,
Petal,
again, it depends where it's coming from. If it's like, say like you go into a charity shop and there's an 80-year-old woman there and she calls you lamb or Petal, then fine, but not your missus. Like, you want to feel not powerful, but just not like a little lamb.
Down here, you get.
I love that though. Whoops, not supposed to call him that.
Yeah,
so good.
Just proper exposed him.
Whoops.
Yeah, round here you get. Cornwall's bad as well. My lover, right, my lover, right, my lover.
That's okay. Lamb is like you pathetic little thing. Like you're bare, like wobbling as you attempt to stand. Whoops, not supposed to call him that.
You're pathetic. What do you reckon? It was a controlling move. Do you reckon she was being willfully controlling, like diminishing his position?
I would love to know from Phil. Maybe we need a part 2 here. Was she naturally patronising as a person? Be honest. You've broken up now. You can tell us the truth. I think she's naturally a patronising person who has a high opinion of herself. Doing that. That's what my gut suggests. We'll finish with this.
Okay.
I know you gotta go. Sexomnia, which again I don't remember that last week, but that was apparently
it's people who commit sex acts in their sleep.
Okay. Dick Nick. What was his name? Hello, gents. Slightly late to the party. As a serial sleep talker, walker, and humper, I would like to thank Flav for bringing sexomnia to my attention, as I never knew it was a disorder until now. I thought I was just a sleep player. I'm just saying, I'm not great in clubs, but when I'm asleep, it bordering terrifies me to the extent that whenever I sleep in a room with another person, I have to warn them in case I make a move on them and the High Court comes after me. I have lived with my missus for a while now, but she has yet to let me frick in my sleep. Sad times, gents. Sad indeed. There you
go. I had a moment when me and my mate were sharing a bed a long time ago. And we'd been on a night out in London, so you can imagine what goes on nights out. Things are ingested. And I woke up to him going, what the fuck? And I'd wrapped my arms and legs around him as like I was trying... Well, I don't think I was trying to shag him. I would shag him.
Have you shagged someone doing that before? Is that a move? Is that in your repertoire?
Anyone doing that.
No. Not sure.
No, but I wasn't shagging him. I was just holding him, like cuddling him. It was a cuddle.
Right.
And I think in my huge, completely dosed state, and I won't go into it any more detail than that, but I was not my normal self. And I thought that he was my missus. Sure. But he wasn't. And it probably felt my erection up against his leg. But we're all mates. We're still mates. Didn't take it badly. Just apologised and rolled over, and that was that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's just a cock, innit? We've all got
it. Yeah. Did he didn't back in, did he?
No, I don't really remember. It was very grey, and I was fast asleep, so I can't really. I might have done. He wasn't into it. He was very much.
Seem to remember the story though. Seem to remember the story.
Oh, you don't forget.
Do you remember the story? Or do you not remember? Well, you just said you don't.
I remember it.
Mate,
I remember it happening, but you asked me about details, and I can't. And this is the thing. I can't. If I was in a court of law, and he said, yeah, he put his cock on me on purpose, I can't, in good faith, say that I didn't put my cock on him. I did. but it wasn't on purpose because I was asleep. So
Yeah.
did I put my cock on him? Yes. But did I mean to? No. Big grey area.
Incredibly. Wow. Yeah. Well, I had a sweet spot, but I think you've already. It sounds like you've sort of said that one already. Would you call it a sweet spot? Did you enjoy it? Like, I know you weren't. You
No,
didn't drink
no,
it, but at the time, did you? Because you weren't aware of what it was. Did you enjoy it?
No, I don't think it was an enjoyable experience. It was just happened, man. I woke up. I thought it was my missus, but I was off my tits on MDMA, and it was a man.
Amazing. Okay.
You do things like this. Like, this is why drugs, mate, you stay off them. They're bad. You'll end up putting your cock on someone.
Yeah, on your mate, making it a bit weird. After that,
Cock on your mate.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's good.
We're
It's good you got
though.
past it. That's great.
It's good mates. There's no issue. Like, it's like,
If like sort of you had to, I don't know, like you had a night out and you go, oh, you're staying at like an Airbnb and you've not been at the Airbnb yet, and everyone goes, well, we're going to go in this one, you go in that one, and then everyone's like quickly getting their rooms and they go, well, I guess this is our one then, and then there's a moment where you and the same guy just look at each other and go, would that be awkward? Would that be an awkward moment?
Not at all. Not at all. Because
as you get into bed, you've both got to get into bed. It's got to be a little bit awkward.
No. And if it happens again, he knows what I'm about. He knows what I'm up to.
Yeah. Maybe
he knows what I'm up to.
He knows what I'm about. Yeah. And we wake up in the morning and you go, you did it again. You know what I'm about. Let's go get breakfast.
Yeah, there's nothing in it.
Lovely.
There's nothing in it.
Lovely.
Good.
All right. If you do us a favour, guys. First of all, join us on Patreon. But more importantly, this week, please,
go listen to the fucking podcast.
Yeah. But please, like, follow us on, download us on like your audio ones. Yeah. Well.
Spotify. Just quickly, Rob just said I had the same experience on MDMA when I slept in a tent with my mate and he had an erection and I was apparently calling my girlfriend's name, so it's relatable. Relatable. One word. There's a comment there. Yeah. Relatable. Yeah, and that's what the podcast is. Relatable. Right. Relatable. Wonderful. And that's why you listen to the end. Have a great weekend, everyone. Peace. Good luck. And we'll speak to you all next week.